just you got to figure it out or you're gonna eat shit.
Oh yeah.
And then come here and everything's all perfect, you know. And we used to come and visit because my daughter, I used to live here before, but my daughter moved back here, and so we'd bring her bikes, and we'd be here for like 2 weeks, and I was like, man, I'm gonna suck when I go back because all this stuff's just so perfect, and I was better when I got back. You know? I'd go to San Clemente and all the jumps that I couldn't hit there, I was just like blasting them, and I was like, all right, you know, I'm getting better at this. So, just my point was like, you know, Ted's like you can go down a downhill trail and there's some jumps and then there's some chunky sections or like Greer. Did you ever ride Greer in Temecula /
No, I never did.
Murrieta? Yeah. Same thing. They're like long trails with everything. You know, you're just jamming, getting a couple sections of jumps, and all of a sudden you're like, and then all of a sudden it's way down here, and then some chunky boulder drop or something, and it's like out here. I think hand cut's probably the closest thing to it, or leatherwood. Still different kind of rocks and stuff, but kind of just leatherwood's got the long trails with a little bit of everything. Hand cut's like a mini version of it. Yeah, but more similar to what I'm used to, or where I learned how to ride. So I kind of like that place too.
For sure. Yeah. Well, I went ahead and took us live.
Okay.
So we started it raw. That's a raw dog in it.
Raw dog in it.
Yeah. You know, there's one way to do a NWA, or I got to train myself for the new show name, Naturally Gnar. We'll go ahead and we'll shoot the wide shot.
So what's with the name change? Why'd you change it?
So, you know, well, I actually am like happy to tell the story live and on the first episode, because it actually it makes sense to tell it now. So we started the show actually, which is funny because like it was with you know, we were talking about this before we started that you know, we had you and Colton on, and that was season 1 in 2022. Yeah. It's 2022. And when we started the show, I had done like the Googling. I did some hard Googling, and there was no NWA. Didn't see anything like that. And so we just went about our way. And so we, you know, did that season, took a break, had season 2 recently, and didn't really think anything of it. And then I was like trying to find it one day, and I went and did some more hard Googling, and I was like, there's another NWA on YouTube. What the hell? And I went and looked back, and it looks like we started our shows at the exact same time. Oh my god! Like it's almost like we both this other like I want to say it's a metal show in like I want to say like Indianapolis or something. Yeah. And random Midwest area, and that like they just had NWA, and it was like, look, you know, we could battle it out, or like,
dude, they copied you.
No, I don't think they.
Well, didn't you point out that it wasn't really super active though?
It wasn't, but I mean, like we both started at the same time, so I just imagine that like we probably both of us were just like, I checked, it's good. Yeah. Nothing else. Go about our way.
Dude, what would be the best way to settle that? I think.
I mean, we could have like a pod off.
A podcast.
A pod off.
or
a cast off.
Cast off. That sounds better. That sounds better.
Yeah, cast off.
Pod off seems like. Is this like an
what's
adult,
a pod off?
Yeah.
I don't know.
But yeah, like I was gonna reach out to him, but I was like, you know what, like, you know, Naturally Gnar like is something that I feel like identifies with like what we're doing. Yeah. You know, because I feel like a lot of like what we talk about in the show is
naturally Gnar,
being Gnar and doing it in a natural way. So
sure, and it was kind of easy. We kind of use it. It's on like the back of our jerseys, and stuff. So
it's been the sub name of Gnarkansas for like since the beginning. So
okay,
yeah. Cool. But yeah, enough about me. Grant Rogers in the house.
Yeah,
I'm here. We're live.
He's here. we couldn't get Colton and Grant, but we got Grant and no Colton. Colton, what's the deal, dude?
Dude,
you don't like building trails no more?
He's grown up, man.
What's the deal?
He's all grown up now. He's having a kid soon. He's got a big boy job. He's doing good. Good.
Well, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
I'm glad that he's doing good, and I'm not just like calling him out like on some.
No, we're just messing.
Yeah, dude, he's gonna have a pot off.
He might have to do a pot off.
Yeah.
And you don't even want to know what a pot off is.
Because we don't, but it's
because we don't know what it is.
We'll make it interesting.
But yeah, yeah, we're I think we did a little like precursor chat before the show started, talking about like why we're here, generally talking mountain bikes, and more specifically what I guess we're kind of leaning into is steep,
like
downhill,
more
single cut, hand cut, trails.
Yeah, like more. So you have out east. That's what's really popular is places like Ride Canuga,
sure,
Windrock.
Mm-hmm.
Windrock especially is like, I'd say the hub.
Highly reputable places to represent
downhill.
Yeah,
it's the place. So Aaron Gwynn just bought that place, which is really cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, all their trails are, 20% grade plus in steepness. Most of them are all hand cut. I think they have a couple machine cut trails, but I mean, really, they're the hub, they're the model, and we want that in Arkansas.
Yeah, dude.
I think Arkansas has a lot of great trails. Especially like, I mean, what Bentonville has done as far as trails is insane, but there's not a lot of variety, I think.
Sure.
And what I do with NWA Downhill Revolution and now Mulberry Mountain is, we're kind of bringing that more hand-cut feel into Arkansas.
Sure. Well, you went right into it, and we probably are just going to have to, like, let everybody know what we mean by Mulberry Mountain, because I think that there's a few or, like, a certain subset of riders that may not even be aware of Mulberry, and that I don't know what contributes to that.
Yeah,
like, I mean, I don't know. What do you think?
Well, so Mulberry Mountain, it's a new downhill bike park project out in.
Dude, let's pull it up. I actually have it queued, I think.
Oh, okay, sick.
Yeah,
sick.
But yeah, keep going.
Yeah.
We'll pull it up here.
I mean, it's just a new shuttle downhill project in Ozark, and I'd like we could get into numbers right now or later, but I mean, really talking about the steepness of trails, it's leaning more towards your 15% plus. Oh yeah, there it is. So yeah, that one was just done. I'm following Jake Ingram there.
And what really stands out to me is this, like, looks like something that you cut through those woods, like you found like that like golden
dude, the dirt
line.
The dirt there is so good.
And alternates too. That was another thing that I noticed in this, is that like there's a bunch of like alternates around different trees and stuff like that. Is that something that's like present everywhere?
Yeah, like I've tried to incorporate as much line choice as I could into this trail. And there's definitely line choice there.
Well,
and,
so yeah, let's I just want to see more.
yeah,
it's so cool.
And I think that like the thing that you can tell, especially if somebody's like riding Bentonville, or I want to say Northwest Arkansas trails in general. The easy thing to notice here is the easy thing to notice is the there's not like that ribbon, you know, because I think that's something that when you're riding in, you know, like a groomed trail set, you get pretty comfortable with the dirt ribbon, you know, and like that's what you visually lock onto. And like this seems like you're cutting through the woods, like riding some stuff like
it's like
it seems a bit
blazing a trail.
it seems pretty dangerous.
It does. It looks like he went that
I like
way
that. I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely, you know, it's not you have to think where you're going a little more, like pick your line and commit to it more so.
Sure.
But yeah, and just the steepness, talking steepness, this trail, it's 19% average grade. So it's not the steepest trail in Arkansas, but it's definitely
that's steeper. That's steeper than most. Right?
Oh yeah, it's steeper than most. Like most trails, most flow trails that are built, they average between 5 and 9% grade.
Okay.
So Lake Leatherwood, I was looking at those numbers the other day, and they don't have a trail that is steeper than 10% grade.
Okay.
And looking out west, like at those Windrocks and those Ride Canogas and, you know, those East Coast places, they tend to average about 16 to 22% grade.
Sure.
So we're just trying to be slotted in there.
Well, and I guess like push the boundary.
Yeah.
Of like what we can. I guess let me ask you this. Do you have any like design caps being at building at Mulberry right now?
No, so that's one thing that's super nice. We're on private land.
Okay.
So we don't have any really restrictions going on with it at all. It's all free, you know. They know what they're getting when I'm building a trail like this. It's very supportive turns, and then the middle is pretty much rake and ride. Just let it ride in for the most part.
Nice.
Which is that's the formula, really.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there any like I don't know if I'm going to say this right, but do you have to have like regards to, you know, tourism and just, you know, green riders, blue riders, people that, you know, like, do you have to like kind of make it for the average rider, or is it just like make it as gnar as you want? And
well, these first two are black downhill trails, and the reason for that, these hand cuts, they're more minimalist. They don't require machines, they don't require culverts, they don't require very much dirt moving, so they're a lot cheaper to build.
Yeah, that was one thing that I think that I pulled out of this, is that, you know, without the need to maybe like pull in machines to make dirt ribbons, so to say.
Yeah, it's definitely less of a
must be more affordable.
More affordable. Yeah, more affordable, and honestly, like in my experience with these hand cut trails, kind of rake and ride, you leave the surface layer of roots in there,
which is like the real mountain.
Yeah, which is the real mountain, and so you leave those roots in there.
That's
and
cool.
A lot of it's off camber, and so the water just sheets off naturally, you know.
So there's like less maintenance involved in projects like that, I would imagine.
Yeah, 100%. With those like minimalist hand cuts, you'd be surprised how little maintenance there really is.
That's a fair point, dude.
As long as it's not straight down fall line.
Sure.
You know,
but you didn't build a waterfall.
Yeah, right. right. Which I love those trails.
I love that. Yeah, I actually want to ride a trail like that.
Yeah.
That's funny. So Mulberry Mountain, there's I before when we were talking in our back chats when we were scheduling the show, we discussed a little bit about you getting some possible dates when this place may be available
right.
to ride? Does that exist?
Well, actually, no. There is no opening date yet.
There's no opening date yet.
We're hoping
Kids,
for a soft opening.
keep it chill.
Late May is like ideal, but there's no solid thing yet. So,
well, hey, no pressure.
No pressure,
right?
Yeah, we're still in the very beginning stages of this thing. So, what we have is we're gonna have 2 steep downhill trails, and we're gonna have a shuttle road and most likely UTV shuttles to start.
Right.
And then we're gonna grow in that, and we're gonna resurface the shuttle road and do some things. And one thing about this park is that we're all really excited about at Mulberry Mountain too is like it's an 11-minute turnaround time from when you put your bike on the rack to driving up, doing a lap, getting back to the shuttle, and putting it on again. So 11 minutes,
Wow.
Think about that over the course of a full day. You take a lunch, how many laps could you get?
Dude.
How long are the trails going to be, like, on average? Like, ride time-wise, like a minute, 2 minutes?
So that one there, me and Jake did it in about 120.
Mm-hmm.
This new one that I'm building is going to be about 2 minutes long. And then we also have an additional 200 feet of elevation below this, which would extend the trails by 50%. Putting it at 600 feet. And, that's significant elevation change, even compared to other bike parks around the country on the East Coast too. Like, so we're working towards doing that.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess what I'm hearing too is that it's not like we're not looking at like a solid number. It's not like you have to reach 1,000 to be like some sort of like notable downhill measure.
Yeah. I mean, there's a misconception, I think, that you need 3,000 feet of elevation to really have a downhill bike park.
Yeah,
but that's not.
No, I think
true.
there is a misconception. I think that's very much it, because it seems to be very relevant on or dependent on the number, like the physical number. What's the number of elevation, gain or descent? And I mean, I would probably say that people in more mellow geography would probably say you don't need an X number of descent to have fun, because you could just have something that's fun for that, whatever that is, and I think that what you were talking about is that this kind of like exposed landscape of a downhill mountain, off camber routes, raw, like that is something that I feel like is missing from the landscape of Northwest Arkansas.
Yeah. And that's why I was curious of how long it is, because I kind of feel like everything's short here. They're all 30 seconds long or whatever. And
for sure. Yeah. That's the truth. Yeah.
And as we were talking, coming from San Diego, I mean, a lot of things are 3 minutes long, 2 minutes long. You get a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, Ted's, what is that? That's probably like a minute 45 or something every lap. Or
what's Otter? Yeah, Otter. Yeah,
Otter's kind of on the shorter side, but yeah, it's a little bit longer.
But it's steep.
But Minions is long.
Oh, Minions, yeah, Minions is long.
Yeah.
Minions takes about
it takes a minute,
like 6 or 7 minutes, something like that.
But then, like, okay, so like I started riding in Northwest Arkansas, went to San Diego. And when I got to Otter, the waterfall section, when I got to that, I was like, whoa, like, this is straight down. I'm stoked. Like, I love this.
Yeah. It's
but like,
not clean.
But it was like, whoa.
Oh, dude, it's rugged.
because it just like pops up on you, and you're like, being like a Northwest Arkansas rider, like, you don't have stuff like that. You don't have like a surprise of like, oh, we're going downhill.
Yeah,
that does
and
not.
There's like 6
does
in
not
a row,
happen.
and you once you commit to the first one, you can't stop. You just have to do it.
I love that idea. I love that, because like you hit that first one, and then you see the line, and you're like, I just gotta go. I have to go.
Yeah, and if you even slow down at all, your tire can
yeah.
go in one of those ruts,
Yep.
and you're eating it one way or another. So you just have to commit and
Yep.
go. Just commit to the whole dang thing and go
Yep.
for it.
Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah, dude. The dust there is so sick too.
The dust.
Like, dude, every time it gets dusty here,
That's so
everyone's
great.
It
like, "Oh, dude, it's so slippery."
What did
That's
Scott? What did I say? What did I say to those dudes when I came up? I said something like, I commented about something like it's like, oh, it's real dusty today or something, and they like everybody looked at me, like,
that's what it is.
yeah, or they were like,
That's
this
what it is.
this is a good day.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Or
dude,
like-
when it rains there,
That's
dude,
the best
Oh,
place to
yeah.
go.
it's insane.
No,
Going
that-
there in the winter,
Yeah, and that
so sick.
was
One of
it.
the best spots right after the rain, like
Yep.
the next
Yeah.
day or something, and
That's-
everything's running so smooth there.
That's exactly what it was. Is that it rained before, and I made some comment about it being dusty, and everybody was like, "Bro."
We also went to. I took them to Snow Summit and Sky Park.
Oh,
Yeah.
sick. Dude,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Summit's fun, man. They have
Yeah.
some good.
Oh, it was
jumps.
great.
They have some
I
good
had a good
jumps.
time. I had a really good time.
Yeah.
And that's something we weren't used to after being here for a year and a half. It's like you get to the bottom and you're like,
Oh, dude, you gotta
The
claw
white
your
knuckle?
hands
The
off.
white knuckle,
You're, like,
dude?
stuck.
Dude, oh man, I have a story about that. We
Yeah.
went there one time in high school, me and a few buddies, for 3 days, and we didn't stop riding.
Just
you know?
lapped it, yeah.
Dude, for 2 weeks, I had to like pop my knuckles back out.
Pop up. You had to
for
move
them.
your
Yeah,
fingers
'cause
out.
they were like locked like that. Dude, it was so sick. The best.
That's so
weekend
sick.
ever.
Yeah. It was so
And that-
sick. My hands were broken.
That
Our
long
friends
run
at
out.
30.
That long run
The
out.
long
at
run
the
out,
end,
yeah.
It's like got the
He's
bumps,
like,
you know, and you're like,
yeah.
and you're just
Yeah.
hauling ass, dude. You're
Oh,
going like
man.
35.
That's the truth.
Yeah.
So fun.
Yeah,
That is
that's
the
a great
truth.
place.
And then, you know, I can't say that place has anything like that stood out to me as like steep,
Yeah.
but there was some like raw stuff that was at Summit that I think was cool.
Yeah, and there was a couple trails that we didn't do that have some more chunky, gnarly stuff. We did,
Oh, okay.
We did all like
We-
the party wave.
we did the
jump
fun stuff.
Yeah. But there's like what is it called? Miracle Mile or something?
We did that one. I think.
'Cause
Did
for
we
a
not?
while. That was the
It's
only
been
downhill
it's like,
like
2x4
track.
or 10 something. I don't know. That has
I
like the
don't know.
chunky
2x4.
rock.
That does sound like
There's
one.
something like
Yeah.
that. I can't remember. But there's
Yep.
they have a couple lines that are chunky
Mhm.
and pretty gnarly, but we didn't do them.
Yeah.
We just did all the Blue Steel, I think, and Party Wave, and where they built a new jump line
Yeah.
with that giant step up and stuff.
Yeah. But there was that one. There was that one cut. I really think it was Miracle Mile where it feels very like on the edge. You're kind of like in this like narrow corridor.
Oh
rock.
yeah.
Oh yeah, I know
Yeah.
which one you're talking about.
Yeah. I think that's Miracle
I think
Mile.
Mike ate it on that.
Yeah.
There's a little thread the needle down this little rock thing, and you got to make a hard right. And he just went OTB, like right in front of me. I almost went OTB on him.
OTB on
Yeah,
on OTB.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
That can happen.
Dude,
Yeah.
yeah, that place is fun. Dude, Mammoth too is sick. Have you been
Yep.
there?
Mm-mm, I haven't.
Oh, dude, it's like riding in kitty litter out there. It's
Ooh.
like 10 inches deep of kitty litter.
Oh, that's gnar.
It's crazy.
I don't know. That sounds fun.
Dude, it's so fun. You just have to get used to like
Like
sliding
riding in
around.
sand.
Uh,
Yeah.
Yeah, But yeah, it's interesting out there. They use a lot of concrete pavers to build their berms. And
Oh yeah, right. So does Snow Summit, right? And then some places in
yeah,
San Diego
Summit
in
does
general.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Black Mountain has some stuff on there.
Black Mountain,
Like that.
yep.
Yeah. And I like those quite a bit. I mean, for controlling erosion and stuff, because they have good grip. You know?
Right.
Good grip.
Yeah.
But
Just checking our stuff here, checking the live.
heck yeah, man. This is a sick setup.
Dude, I appreciate you coming, dude.
Yeah, thanks
Yeah.
for having me.
And so like I think the funny part about right now is that like I was thinking about this before we started, was that 2 years ago we talked about you advocating for steep trails, and you're still on the plight.
Oh yeah,
You're still
man.
you're still fighting the good fight for
trying
for downhill.
For
downhill.
So how many trails are you guys building there?
Well, we have flagged out 7 7 of them. It's just the funding is always the difficult part, you know. And you know, there's a bunch of people that are really getting involved, like not just getting involved, but have been involved in the downhill scene out here, like Jared Calhoun and all those girls.
Jared, yeah.
You know? And Jared's been racing and stuff. It looks like he's been getting some.
Yeah,
good
I noticed that.
results and everything, which is sick.
I follow Jared on Instagram. I don't know him personally, and like the one thing, like somebody shouted out in when we launched season 3 that we should have Jared on, and I was like, what's weird about him is that he seems like a pro that I don't know, but he's like here, and it seems very like ominous and mysterious, and I like that. Like it seems like he's like taking on that role of like being like, you know, a pro person in the scene. And to the point where like I literally had to question, like, does this dude even live here? Like, is he from here? Like I got so deep in like trying to figure out, dude. And like I was like, why am I like Googling to do so much? But like it was like I was genuinely intrigued, you know, like by seeing him, and like dude rides so good, and like I always see him like placing, like he's clearly cut from
quick.
the cloth.
Yeah, for sure. He's super quick. And
yeah. Is he coming? Is he riding with you guys out there?
Yeah, he will be. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I just saw they built some kind of rut track or something, you know.
Oh, I did see that.
Oh,
I did
dude,
see that.
Looks like so much fun.
The Keeper boys and
Yeah.
Those guys are rad, man. They're always just blazing something. And just having a blast with it.
Yeah. And I think that's one of the things that I think is probably, no, I wouldn't say missing, because I don't want to say missing because it's not missing. It's just not a clear and present aspect of mountain biking is like what I refer to as like the street skating version of mountain biking.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Which is like DIY. It's like kind of like making your own cuts, making your own jumps, making your own whatever, you know? Yeah. And I mean, I'm not saying that like everybody needs to do that. I'm not advocating for that, disclaimer.
But it's fun to have that urban feel. It's kind of like you got a professionally built skate park / hubs all over Bentonville, but then you also want to just scope something out. You know, it's like him and I did hobs with the ladies over the weekend, and him and I are just going,
just looking around.
I see a path up there, and and he's walking his bike, and I'm clearing all the leaves because I'm the old man. So I'll help you get.
And we're like looking at a trail. That was the funny part. We're like looking at a trail and like looking at a cut, and then we're like, well, there's another one right there. That would actually be better.
Dude, you can't turn it off, dude.
Yeah, you can't turn it off. Yeah, you're like,
so awesome.
And then you just stay out there the whole time. Like,
yeah,
ladies are looking at you like,
yeah,
are we leaving?
Yeah.
We did make one little steep little drop one out of there.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'll try it. So I was like filming him, and he went for it. And we're like, okay, that was cool. We just got to keep our eyes peeled.
Dude, I've never ridden at Hobbs. Is that pretty fun?
It's green.
I will say
it's green.
For sure.
Super green.
Say not
super
really,
green.
But I mean,
it's super green.
Yeah.
It's super green in the respect that like I wouldn't feel uncomfortable taking anybody there. You know, like like anybody could ride that.
If you embrace the idea that, hey, we're going with the ladies, we're just gonna cruise, you know, and it's got some pedally parts, so you're like, hey,
dude,
you
there
know,
were
a little workout.
Yeah, there were a couple of times where like we could like break away and like get some like speedy hits, you know, like blast some stuff, hop some optional kind of like things here,
or
but
there
like,
might be a little technical climb thing, and we're like, all right, let's do it again, but
and
faster,
get it,
and then the girls would catch up and go, okay, let's go. You know,
okay, nice.
And they're walking the tech climb. They're like, and it's not a climb.
Yeah, but, you know.
it's a tech area.
Yeah, for sure, dude. Yeah, I feel like somewhere like that would be really fun.
Well,
on an e-bike.
Oh, absolutely, dude.
Have you ridden e-bike?
Well, he does.
Scott, you have one?
Yeah.
Oh, sick.
It would be fun on
He's an e-biker.
because you can go as fast as you want on
Yeah,
it.
that's right.
And I've done some ride NWA rides through Bella Vista, and Justice Berry hosts that, and
They're like long routes
but his
too.
mentality
Yeah.
is we're
Oh,
barging,
okay.
and it's an
a
e-bike
fast
group ride.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so everybody just goes as fast as you can.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
Yep.
Huh, that's
It's
cool.
pretty gnarly
Yeah.
because
Is it like a workout kind of? Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a pretty good. It's not. I mean, it's not intended to be a workout, but I'm gassed.
I
Like,
think it's because I've looked at the miles that you guys had logged on those Monday rides. Or that's Monday, right? Or no? Wait.
I had to stop doing it because it gets too dark and I'm blind.
But
and
it
I
was
can't
Monday, right? Am I tripping on that?
Yeah, it was Monday.
Okay.
Yeah, Monday. I'll start doing
I
it
had
again.
seen some of the miles that was logged though, and it was like, you guys are doing stuff that like I wouldn't do on a pedal bike.
No.
No.
We're doing like 15 miles at least.
Yeah.
But it's fast paced.
I mean, I do 12 and I'm gassed.
Dude, I barely even ride anymore.
Yeah,
I just build the trails.
you go downhill, right?
Yeah.
You go downhill.
I don't pedal anymore.
I don't pedal
That's
anymore.
why that's why I got the e-bike. I'm like, I don't know. You can
Yeah.
say call all the
Right.
jokes and stuff. I'm fine with it. I don't. Really
Yeah, I
care.
don't care.
Dude, yeah, I don't care. I rode one of those like in St. Joe where we were building, and dude, I rode one a couple times, and I was just sold because them on the downhill too. You have so much traction, and like the suspension performs better, I think, because there's more weight.
Oh
here,
yeah, the
man.
weight. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, he's right.
Even
We've
the
talked
jump-
about that a
Even
bunch.
the jumping, man. Like when because I had reconstructive knee surgery, and I go, I'm just getting one, right?
Yeah.
To come back and start riding again, and I was like nervous, like I was just starting to get pretty solid at jumping, and I'm like, man, this thing's a tank, and it immediately. I was like, oh, this thing jumps way better than my regular pedal bike. And I couldn't stop taking it out. And I don't get tired. I can just keep doing it.
Dude, it's dangerous.
That's great,
It is.
dude. That's
It is.
great.
Dude.
Yeah, it's the devil, man. But
all the analog acoustic bikers out there are like,
Naturally aspirated.
yeah.
that's
Dude.
Cheater. And I'm like, I'm not racing, but now I'm going, yeah, I am. How do you like it?
how you like this race where I'm winning?
Cheater. Damn right.
Dude,
Damn right, I'm cheating.
I'm so worried
I love
about
it.
getting one because then it's like I'm never.
No,
gonna
it's
ride my normal bike.
it is that it's like the touch of heroin. Like you're like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, so I'm doing drugs now. Like,
But the last two
Yeah.
hob rides with the lady, I've been bringing the pedal bike.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was like,
No.
I got to get these string beans back in shape.
yeah,
you know?
because I think that is something that like you could try to defend it all you want, but like in a non pedal assist bike is gonna get you more gains. There's just no
Yeah,
other way around it,
sure.
unless you're doing something. And I thought about this. I did think about this. If you went out on an e-bike and you went out with like high intention and you're like, yo, I'm going to do 40 miles. Like, yeah,
You're
gonna
gas.
get
When
something.
I go by myself,
Yeah.
I'm boost mode the whole time. But when I ride with you or
oh,
a
you
bunch of
you
people,
tell me all the
I
time. You
put it on
go
Eco
to
or
Eco.
something,
Yeah.
And then I just cruise and we're just talking,
Yeah.
climbing, and I don't really
Mhm.
care.
Yeah.
But that's the other thing. You reason with yourself. You're like, well, I can turn it off, or I can put it on Eco.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Right.
It's like,
Right.
yeah. And
Never happens.
It never happens.
Yeah.
then I'm like on tow rope. You want a
Tow rope?
Yeah.
You want- yeah,
Dude,
it-
yeah.
yeah.
Tow ropes.
Tow
That's
ropes.
underrated.
Yeah.
For
No,
sure.
it is. I think I was like brewing up this idea. No, I'm not telling anybody. People take ideas. I say the idea, and then somebody's gonna take it.
Mm.
I want to take it. Let's just say I'm ready to make a product that makes it easy for mountain bikers and e-bikers.
Oh,
tow
tow
rope.
rope. Dude.
I ain't saying
I-
nothing more.
No.
I don't want to break your dreams or anything.
Oh, did it already
But
happen?
I think
Son of
it's
a-
already out there. Yeah.
God. All right, this podcast is over.
Is it over? Oh man, what else is going on? What else?
Dude.
Oh man, just glad that winter's on the tail end.
Dude,
Well,
there
yeah,
has been
spring.
no winter this
There,
year.
yeah.
There's been one
That's a
week.
good point. Well, he's coming from California, so
Oh, you just came from California.
well, not like
A year
just,
and a
but
half ago.
he's
Yeah.
Okay,
still
okay.
he's still inundated.
But I'm
with the
originally from
weather.
Sacramento,
Okay.
and I moved out here in 03 till 2011. Then moved back to Sacramento. Then moved to San Diego for 6 years, and then came back.
That's right.
So I'm familiar with the area, but there was definitely no mountain bike trails when I left in 2011.
And then all of a sudden,
Dang,
So
dude,
it's like
that's
a whole-
crazy.
and I want to say there's none. Then I think there were some. Like so, like
Well,
for
there's
instance,
hiking instead,
well,
Devil's
no.
Den.
It's like Kessler had
Right.
a line. There was like one really long black, like single, like I would say single black, but like tech black. And then Mount Sequoia, there was a line through Mount Sequoia for a little bit.
But
It's still there.
Mountain
Still there.
biking wasn't a thing. Like, it was super underground. I didn't know anything about it.
Yeah, no, and
I'm not saying nobody
Yeah,
did it, but
yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't know.
I'm
know
sure-
of anybody doing
bro,
it.
if one of the ORC guys heard that, they were like, you know what?
No, that's fine. But I mean,
Which
it
they
just
probably have been doing it for 50
they have
been.
they
But
have.
I mean, you
yeah.
just didn't see it or know about it.
That's
That's
right.
Just a fact. I'm not like talking.
Yeah,
smack or
no, I
anything,
know,
you
I know.
just-
But it's like I
didn't
think
know
it's
about it.
I think it's funny because it's
Mhm.
like it kind of reminds me of old school skateboarders.
Mm-hmm.
They were like, "You little kids, you don't know
Mhm.
back in the day."
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I like that. I like that the fact that like that aspect exists around here
Yeah.
because it feels real. You know,
Oh,
it
for
feels
sure,
it
yeah.
feels raw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I can even say that about San Diego in 2020 when he
Totally.
came to visit, and he's like, "You got to get a mountain bike. What should I bring? My dirt jumper or my downhill bike?" And I'm like, "I don't think anybody mountain bikes out here. I've never seen anybody. I don't even know if there's trails or anything." But then once you get a bike and start diving into that world, you're like, "Oh, there's thousands of people that mountain bike, and there's trails everywhere. Like right in front of me. I didn't even see it, know about it,
Yeah.
none of it. You know, so it's
Yeah,
yeah.
dude, that's the thing I like about like kind of the skate community. It's a lot of it's like really grassroots,
Mhm.
you know, grown from nothing, which is cool. That's how most mountain bike scenes are. And then
Yeah.
Arkansas was kind of the first one where it's like, oh, we're gonna make this the thing.
Mhm.
Kind of like we're gonna build our city from the ground up. We're gonna make it this thing. We're usually like in California, a lot of the trails.
It gets built. It like
illegal-
it's
illegally
illegal,
built.
and then it kind of it grows into a thing where I think I see what you're saying is that like here it was fostered.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which
Mhm.
is sick.
Yeah.
You know, instead of spending 10 years to get a pump track built in California,
Totally.
it's like it's going on here. But
Yeah.
Mhm. Which is kind of the opposite of skateboarding. California just has all these
It
professional
totally
parks.
is. It totally
And
is.
you couldn't get anybody to come out here to build anything back
Yeah.
back when I had a shop in the early 2000s in Fayetteville, and you couldn't get anything out here, and it's so weird that it's like the complete opposite, you know.
Oh, you had a skate shop out there? Oh,
in
sick.
Fayetteville,
In
I
Fayetteville.
did, yeah, and that's how we met back then. But you know, we were trying to advocate for parks or rebuild at Walker Park and stuff, and just nobody cared about it at all.
And I mean, like, you know, now it was kind of interesting going to the Bentonville skate park meeting and how like easy it was. Like everybody was just like, yeah, skate park, cool.
Yeah,
And we're like, back in 2000, we were like, it was like we were little ants trying to climb, you know, up a mountain, a real mountain, you know, and nobody even saw who we were, you know. And then like you fast forward to 2020s and they're just fine with it, you know.
Dang, that's awesome.
But I mean,
everything. That's the
Yeah,
beauty about
yeah.
being out here is just like there's no red tape. I mean, and it's starting to be a little bit more, but I mean,
a
there's
little
no
bit,
permit,
just a little bit,
You know,
though.
the permits and
Yeah.
stuff. Like when coming from California, if you were going to put on a skate contest, you had to go to Parks and Rec, go to the city, get permits, this, that, you know. And then I come here, and him and I are setting up full-blown audio equipment and had like 3 punk bands playing on the bowl, and we had, you know, and we called Parks and Rec because that's what I thought you were supposed to do. And he's like, "Yeah, sure, go do whatever you want."
And
we're
just
like,
gave you the green light.
yeah, and we're
Dang,
like,
dude.
I don't
Yeah,
have
just
to sign
gave you the
anything.
green light.
And
Yeah.
he's like, "No, in fact, you know, if you want to do a plug on the news, call this guy." And I'm like, "Oh, these guys are telling me to promote it.
What
like
the heck?
they're encouraging me to promote this, and
For
they're
sure.
not even no permit, no nothing, man. It was cool. And then you go reach out to like Bank of America, our banking system. We're like, yeah, we're gonna do this contest, and they're like, oh, we have this big giant barbecue trailer if you guys want to use it. And we're like, oh, okay. And then my buddy's brother worked at Pilgrim Chicken. He's like, dude, I got like pounds of chicken, all you guys can do wings and stuff. And we were just like, everybody's just giving us stuff, and I was like going, where am I? Like, this is so weird.
It's such a departure from like the normal.
I was like, I thought I was in Wonderland or something, man. It's crazy.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I love it here, man. It's always been. I'm back here, and I'm once again having the best time of my life again. It's doing what you want to do. I love it here.
Well, that plays into the role of mountain bike too, because it's like it's so like we talked about like the commonalities in like in skateboarding and mountain biking, and I think that like, you know, having that crew culture, you know, is something that's pretty heavy. With Mulberry, do you guys have a crew out there that is riding and cutting things in, or is it just you?
No, not yet. So like, we haven't opened anything yet, but we have riders come out every now and then, and ride and stuff. And we really want to get a lot of local like videographers involved and stuff, and getting videos and whatnot. So you'll probably see more of that as, you know, time goes on.
Cool.
So it's kind of like, it's like a community thing, you know.
Right.
It's downhill community isn't super big, but I think it can grow quickly with a good place to ride, you know.
Is there with Mulberry, is there like a master plan of the trails, or is it just kind of like you guys are just going one step at a time?
Yeah, we have a master plan.
Okay.
Like I was saying, we have like 7 lines or so flagged, and we have our green trails and our blue flow trails also in there too. 5 hand cuts. I mean, yeah, it's cool, and it's not like, you know, it's not like this thing that's like that's all that matters in my life or anything.
Sure.
But like, I mean, I'm happy to do the best I can and build sick trails, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
and it's always cool to have like an alternative to you know, Bentonville.
Sure.
You know, there is Leatherwood and Passion Play, and then, you know, Ponca, which I've never been to, and Nebo.
Yep.
We haven't been to, but just there's a lot of stuff we got to do, and now this is gonna be another one, so that's cool.
Well, I think that's a fair point to add, is that like you know, there needs to be a lot more that pulls people away from Northwest Arkansas's gravity.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't mean gravity in the sense of going down. I mean the sense of pulling people in to, and, you know, anybody that rides with me, Scott knows this, that like, you know, I'll complain about going to Slaughter Pen, or, you know, as fun as Kohler is, you know, we'll go to Kohler often, and I just like to diversify the ride a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so it's like kind of nice to know that there are more options, and skate parks are the same way, dude. Like I get burnt out on a skate park, but like if I know that like we're skating this place one time, then this place another time, it's like that's way more fun.
Yeah,
you know,
it just breaks up the monotony.
Yeah, just mix it up and get some different trails, different skate parks. Yeah.
Well, and then different trails is something I feel like we should touch on, because like I think that's the paramount of this that we haven't really gotten too much into, is like trail type. So like why is well, I guess let me ask this, is Mulberry gonna just be, you know, hand cut, raw, single track?
No, that's how we're starting. So I don't know if we already talked about it before the cast started, but we're starting with these trails. They're a little less expensive to build than getting machines and everything out there.
Sure.
So we're starting with those, and it kind of works out because, there's demand for it. But we do want to get, like I was saying, we have 5 hand cuts going on. And we have a couple flow trails also flagged. Like, we want to get that good blue flow trail in there, like medium difficulty.
Yeah. I was saying that, like, having, we've talked about this, about like having like blue options. It just means that we can bring more people, more in a more open skill set.
Yeah, just
of riders.
Get that rider there, and it's also a good warm up. It's kind of a shock to the system to just jump right into a downhill track.
Downhill double black diamond.
Yeah, it's like going into that cold, dude. That's the one thing I never liked about BMEs was the first run of the day. Sometimes they have
it's
you
just
jump
like
on the
raw.
lift. Yeah, well, it's raw, but they have you jump on the ski lift, go to the top, and then just drop in cold at like 8 a.m. And you're just like, dude, I kind of wish I pedaled up this hill.
Right.
Just to warm it up.
Right. Yeah. That makes me think of, and this is very sad that I'm going to bring this up, but Pink Bikes Academy, that was something that I was able to get my wife involved in. She liked it. We got to do a little reality TV watching about mountain bikes. Might have been something that got her in. I don't know. But in that was something that I noticed they always did, is they always make people pedal up to the top. And I don't do races. I have no idea. But I thought, I was like, that's cool, because like that gets your legs warm.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, and some of those guys are just like, doesn't even matter. It seems like they're just fast all the time. It's crazy.
Right.
But yeah, man, we want to get that good blue in there, and we'll probably have the next trail we'll be doing is a blue hand cut.
Okay.
Just minimalist kind of rake and ride style, but more of like a 12-13% average grade, so a little less steep, not as much side slope either, so you can more easily turn left and right. You don't have to put as much thought into like staying on and off camber or like catching a rut or anything like that. So
that's what I was gonna ask, if you were gonna, if you had plans for, like, you got your black hand cut steep single track, but will there be like a blue or green version, like something where like you're new to it, but you can develop the skill and then move on and progress into getting there, rather than hitting something like that cold and busting yourself off?
Yeah, that's definitely important. That's what is next for sure. And a good blue trail is so awesome to have, because a beginner can roll down it, and then a good blue trail is like a good rider will be able to have a lot of fun on it too.
Sure.
And maybe there's options. And
I think the only thing I could think of that comes to mind that would be similar to something like that is Lone Wolf
in Bentonville.
Would you agree with that? Yeah. Because it is kind of just.
Is that one hand cut? Pretty like just
it's
ruts.
It's just a raw, and there's roots and stuff.
Yeah.
It very
that
much
one's
is
fun. Yeah.
It very much is.
And I try to get like 3 or 4 laps on that every time when I'm on my e-bike, just because we jump so much, and sometimes it's like, man, I gotta go back to where I learned how to mountain bike, because I'm forgetting, and it's like, so I hit that. But there isn't a lot of those options really around here. And I can't think of anything else. Maybe Hand Cut Hollow has that Schoolhouse Rock that's a little bit like that, maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know.
What's that trail system called? You were talking about Lone Wolf. What is that trail system? Because I remember that one.
That's
being
the castle.
Cool. Oh, that is the castle.
Yeah, and then they have Dragon Scales next to it, which is kind of like similar, but it's more like, those flat rocks, and they're fun, but I mean, it's almost hard to mess up on them.
Yeah,
because they're all just kind of strategically placed, and I understand why, because there's so much tourism there that you could really, if you just threw rocks down there and made it Gnar, like people are gonna get busted for sure.
Yeah. I'm glad you brought that up about the rocks, how they kind of strategically place them. I think a lot of times with trails nowadays, it's because I feel like as people, we have a tendency to kind of put things in order so much.
Right.
Say you're building a house or you're doing plumbing or whatever, and you have this tendency, which you want to do this when you're building a house, to put things in order, do it right. But with trails, I think it's a little bit different because you don't want to take all the chaoticness out of it. You know, you want to leave some type of entropy, I guess, to the trail, because I mean, we're riding 170 millimeter travel enduro bikes, you know, and I'd like to use some of that travel.
Right. And I think the travel's created for the natural habitat of riding down a mountain.
Like what's the point of having like 170 or something if there isn't something that like makes that occurrence, or there isn't an occurrence that makes that useful. You know,
for sure.
I mean, one can argue like, why even make a trail at all? Just go to the side of a mountain and hit it.
Sure. I mean, and actually, and I mean, like I was watching a lot of like I would say like, you know, early mountain biking, and like that was kind of what they were doing, is they were just hitting like a mountain.
There might be some old heads out there going, look at these guys raking a thing, just hit it.
Just hit it. Just ride down it.
Yeah, these sissies raking out. Just hit it.
Yeah,
I mean,
free ride culture is like, it's kind of like a skate culture in a way.
It is. It totally is.
It's cool, and all those guys back then, Tippy and all them, they kind of started that. Yeah, man. Yeah, it's a cool thing.
And I think that skate culture, like it, there's, again, I've said this many times, there's like just parallels in it. There's so many parallels in it that like there's differences. There's very stark differences in the industries, you know, and the ride. But then we've had skate friends out with us to ride mountain bike, and they've said they've almost all said the same thing. This is just like skating. Like this is just like going out and skating.
And I think it's how we do it, though. I think we add our own little flavor to how we look at riding. You know, it's like there's so many different ride styles out there, and you know, and us, you know, like ultimately it's like I just want to throw on my pants and a pair of Vans and let's just go find the sweetest feature and just hit it over and over and over and see who can get the coolest stuff off of it. And we tend to do that without even thinking a lot. And so when we recruit skaters, they're just like, hey, we're gonna, like last Sunday, we're just like went to Mad Hatter and we just lapped it for 2 hours straight in this step up. It's just like within 30 minutes there's like 15 guys and we're all just blasting airs trying to do something crazy off of it. And a couple of our buddies that are skaters are like, man, now I know why you guys do this. It's just like skating, you know? And it's like, that's so much fun.
Yeah.
Dude, that's fun. Yeah, like a session like that just naturally happens. Oh, man. Dude, that's one thing, like you know, Bentonville doesn't have the steep trails, but you're driving around and there's just people riding bikes everywhere.
Everybody's just riding.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. I like watching other people ride. You know, just seeing other people ride on any trail. It's kind of like, I don't know. It's just cool to see that. I don't know what it is compared to riding alone.
Right.
But
do you ride alone a lot?
Dude, so much.
So much,
Usually I'm riding alone.
Right.
And I like that because I can go at my own pace. I don't like to stop at the top very long or like do any, you know. So when I'm riding, I'm just usually don't stop, don't drink any water, you know. We call that dehydration training.
Oh, is that what that's called?
Yeah.
I do that a lot.
Same way. Yeah. We ride for like 3 hours sometimes, and we'll get back to the truck, and I'm like, I did not drink one.
You didn't drink one. So like looking at the water bottle you brought, and you're like,
but it's because you're having so much fun, and you're just not even thinking about being thirsty or any of that. You're just like, let's just go again.
Man. And mountain biking is such a good thing to like, dude. So many people mountain bike, maybe they were into drugs or whatever at first, and it fills that void, or whatever that need is.
Yeah, I think void's a good word for it. The place.
Yeah.
Placeholder.
Yeah,
for that.
Yeah, it's one thing,
I think the coolest thing about it that's so similar to skating, and we talked about this, about like why I started skating as a kid, but that's relevant to how we ride and who we ride with. It's like Sunday we got like 15, 20 people or whatever, and you can just look down the row at everybody, and we're all just so different outside of it. We all have different lives, we all have different styles, we listen to different music, we wear different clothes, we just all this different stuff, different cultures, but none of that matters. We're all just like homies sessioning this step up jump and just getting crazy and knuckle bumping and stuff, and that's cool, because all that nonsense is just out the window, and we're just having a blast.
Yeah, dude. It's so much fun, dude. Yeah, like mountain biking, getting outside is all good.
People do more of it. That's what this. If we're advocating for one thing, go outside and do more of it.
Go get a taste of some reality, man. Like,
get off your screens. And I know that we're on a screen right now, and if you're watching this, you're on a screen.
Quit believing what the screen is telling you and go outside and do something.
Oh, dude, the screen's crazy, man.
Yeah. That's the new devil.
That's the devil. Yeah, that's right.
Staring at the screen.
That's right. Yeah, so going back to touching on Mulberry, because I feel like that's the project at hand. Does Mulberry have any like plans to do events that are around mountain biking, because there's mountain bike trails coming in?
Yes. Okay. So what we plan to do is we want to do like a Mulberry Spring Classic, and all I know right now is it's going to have some type of enduro or downhill race, but we want to also have like rut track comp, whip off, all different types of stuff, and hopefully make it a two-day ordeal.
Okay.
And we're kind of just focused right now on getting this park built out first, and getting the shuttle road all in good order. But as things progress and we open up and the shuttle is efficient and working well, we're gonna go into more of that stuff. It's definitely a desire.
Is there a dedicated shuttle that will be there for when people go there to ride, or is it?
Yeah. Friday through Sunday is the plan at the moment. UTV shuttles.
Okay.
To start off is UTV shuttles.
Wow.
Which we would like to get a van going with like a 14 bike rack or something.
Sure.
But with these UTVs, our shuttle road is so steep. It's like 4 minutes to the top. You can carry 6 people on these UTVs. And
really?
So if you have 2 or 3 of those going, it's a very efficient system compared to just going all day.
It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's really the general plan for the place. Like, it's a big desire.
We'll be there for that event for sure.
Yeah, I'm sure that'd be
maybe
sick.
we can do the first annual pot off.
Oh,
we got to do a pot off. Yeah.
Jiu-jitsu competition.
Somehow there's fighting involved in it.
Because we don't know what it is.
We don't know what it is.
We're open for ideas. We just know it's going to be a pot off.
That's right. You mentioned something about oh goodness. Did we talk about the eclipse?
Oh yeah.
Eclipse. Yeah.
I haven't heard anything about any event they're doing anymore, actually.
So really? Okay.
I don't even think they're doing an event.
Oh no!
So,
it's like that's the unfortunate part, because if anybody is like keen to this, know what's going on, that the eclipse path is over Arkansas.
Oh yeah,
and
it's
then
right over.
And then like one of the hot spots is like Mulberry.
Yeah, it's
like
a full eclipse.
It's a full eclipse. It's like it's in the center of like where the best area would be. Like it's in it.
That'd be cool,
dude. What happens during an eclipse? Do like I know werewolves come out during full moons, but like
what happens when you're on a mountain bike?
Yeah, what happens when you're on your
you might
bike turns into a
shred
26-inch.
You might shred
downhill.
really hard. Actually, I think
Yeah,
it's
maybe
like
so.
you turn into a super shredder.
Dang.
If I know anything about Ninja Turtles,
Uh-huh.
you turn into a shredder.
Really? Is that what happens when they eclipse?
Or something, you know,
What
or
the-
just a Gnar animal of sorts.
Dang, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
I could see it happening.
What animal do you think is the best at riding downhill?
Wolverines probably.
Wolverine. They're kind of short though. Like they need a small frame.
Shit.
Maybe like what animal, dude?
Oh, mountain lion.
Yeah,
Hippopotamus. Oh yeah, mountain lion. would be
Mountain
cool.
lion, and then mountain goats.
Yeah.
Billy goats.
Billy
Billy
goats.
goats.
Billy goats.
Billy
yeah.
goats.
They'd be
Like
good
a-
Bro.
off
Yeah.
camera.
Yeah,
and those
that's
edgy
right.
type
Dang,
stuff.
yeah.
Man. They like that stuff.
I can already see any mountain bike company go ahead and steal this. A Billy goat graphic of sorts.
Oh, dude, I bet it's been done.
It's
Like,
gotta
way
be
too
done.
many
I
times.
bet you bears would shred too.
Bears.
Yeah. I
Bear-
think they could
Dude, you
shred.
see
Well-
those videos of bears trying to chase people
Yeah.
on bikes?
Right.
So imagine
Like, so they'll like screw you up. Like, they'll eat you and
they want to
go fast.
I think they want to ride your
Dude,
bike.
they run like
Yeah.
25 miles an hour.
They're
yeah.
chasing the bike.
They just want to ride your bike. They just want to steal your bike.
What is that thing?
Yeah.
What is that thing?
Give me that bike.
Dude, oh man.
Swatting at you.
Yeah.
Dude, in Montana, I was out there for a little bit. You have to ride with bear spray out there because
Oh, I've
it's,
heard of that. I've heard of that.
Yeah, there's so many grizzly bears out there. Dude, I almost hit a cow one time. I came around a blind corner. I was way up high in the mountains, and there's just this cow.
Not a place you're expecting a cow
No.
Yeah,
to just
dude.
show up.
Yeah, this cow was there, and then that same ride, dude. But Montana's so sick because you'll be riding and there'll just be a herd of elk, like 700-pound elk. They'll run by, dude. You'll feel the ground shake.
That's Gnar.
Just way up there.
That's-
crazy.
It's so
Man,
cool.
just some of these deer you come across, man. I'm like, oh god, I didn't see that thing sitting there.
He's
you
just
know?
sitting next to us.
And it probably could
That's
mess
a-
you up
that's
a
a
little
city
bit
deer.
if it wanted to, but yeah. But
That's
still,
it. That's city
those
deer.
get me. But they're no big rattlesnakes like Ted's.
Oh,
Come
dude.
blast around a corner and see a freaking snake like that big just sitting right in the trail, and you're like, feet up,
Yeah.
Jump 8
Yeah.
feet in the air.
bunny hop
yeah.
as high as you can.
Right.
Dude, it's so true.
Yeah.
Those
Yeah.
rattlesnakes, man.
Yeah,
That's
they're
funny.
gnarly too.
Yeah.
So how much longer is it going to take to get Mulberry done? Like, is there any kind of like
Target date. or anything?
Well, I mean, we talked about target date,
May-ish,
but like trails taking a certain amount of time to
Yeah.
build.
Yeah, so we have that one done, and then the second one should be done in about 3 weeks. So then we'll have 2.
Okay.
So we have there's a road crossing the property, which is where these first 2 trails are going, and one of them is 400 feet of elevation to the bottom, and one of them is 420 feet of elevation to the bottom. And so we'll have those 2 at first, and it's like a 20-second pedal back to the shuttle from there.
Jeez, that's quick.
Yeah, it's nice and quick, like loading on the shuttle, and then also drop off is right there where the trails start. So it's nice not to have to pedal.
No pedals.
to get to your downhill trails.
That's what I heard.
Yeah.
No pedals.
No pedaling. Yeah. But yeah, what would really make that park nice is extending to that 600 feet, and that's what we're working towards. We're still like really in the beginning. So like, who knows, 6 months from now, maybe it would be a good cast. But
Yeah.
yeah, we're still in the super beginning stages, just getting those first 2 done
Okay.
and getting media on it, and yeah, just
That's great.
building good stuff. Yeah,
I would
exciting.
be. I've already pitched this, but if we can come out there and ride, I am
dude,
down. Yeah.
Anytime, man. Anytime for
Yeah.
sure.
That would be fun.
I'm pretty pumped on that. And I think the other thing too that like a lot of people don't know about, or if you don't know about Mulberry, like it's a nice campground. Like it's just
yeah.
overall just a nice campground.
Yeah, Mulberry, they have like 7 cabins too, and RV hookups,
Mhm.
campsites.
Yep.
It's just a beautiful area there. And they do have a big festival there every year.
Yeah.
That's like thousands of
The
people.
music festivals.
Yeah.
Yep. And I mean, like, I think that's one of the problems is they get really known for the festival side of things, and like not known for anything else. You know, like not known for like what it really is, which is like a campground.
Yeah.
Not just like a music venue space. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so like that's one thing I think was really cool. And I know that when you and I were talking on the side, we were like just like talking about the like ONF area. Like there's so many different areas in the Ozark National Forest range that could be something good. And Mulberry kind of like just like taking that torch and just saying, yeah, we'll do it. You know, we'll put some trails in. Like that's huge.
Yeah,
you
man.
know?
It's huge because you don't see the elevations like that anywhere else, and not just the elevation. Like, Buffalo Outdoor Center has good elevation, but they have a 15-minute cross-country pedal in the middle of their downhill trail, and then you have to climb back out to get back to the shuttle. So it's kind of defeats the purpose a little bit. And then their dirt is so shale or like so gravelly. It's just, so what I'm saying is Mulberry has good dirt and we have an efficient shuttle system. So like, you're not going to be pedaling to your shuttle, and there's good dirt like winter and clay. And
those
stuff.
two things right there. Those dirt, shuttle.
Yeah.
Those are two things that the mountain bikers want to know about, and what they're gonna get when they go there.
Right.
So
and that, and just the steepness of the trails, and it's a completely different experience than anything you're gonna find in Bentonville. Really, like if you're looking for a Bentonville experience, this is not gonna be the place.
Just don't come here. I like that actually. So like with most trails that come up, I always think about like trail maps. Like, do you guys have like a trail map that's built for this thing yet?
No, we don't have anything like
that. I had a feeling. With it being like hand cut, you're kind of like creating that path.
Well, I mean, I do have GPS flagged out lines.
Okay,
and
sure.
If that's what you're asking, like, I do have my lines GPSed and flagging.
Oh yeah, I mean, I would assume that, but like
an official map yet? No, not yet. Not yet, because we're still like looking at, do we want to open with 2 trails, or do we want to open with 2 trails to the bottom 600 feet, or 3 trails? So we're still looking at that and what opening day kind of looks like for that. But
sure,
it'll be a very clear answer to that question, like when we're opening. It'll be a very clear answer. It's just a little bit early.
Sure. Yeah. I feel like this is, if we were getting into the conversation about Mina coming in, it's like, we couldn't have that conversation right now because there's just so many unknowns, and you're getting into like you've already started, you've broke the seal. So like trail started, but like there's still, like you said, there's so many other parts of the project that have yet to unfold that like it probably is hard to like put any defined things down.
I can't put any defined date or anything like that.
That's what we're trying to pull out of you. Like
I can't
full
say,
disclosure.
But I know the second trail should be done in like 3 weeks. And to give a description of the second trail and the first trail, I tried to make them as different as I could in terms of ride feel. So the first one is, we watched that video. It's pretty super fast and super white knuckle kind of style, high average speed. You're hitting corners fast. And the second one's more like, I'd say like a rut track for 2 minutes. So it's a little bit less steep, a little bit slower average speed, and tighter turns, but you're still hitting that G-force in every turn.
Okay.
And it's a lot of bang for your buck as far as like how much action you're getting for how much time you're riding downhill.
Right.
So it's gonna be really sick, I think.
And there's no video of the other trail
Not yet. Not
Okay.
yet.
All right.
No.
All right.
That might be a good
No,
trail
you'll
name
see
for
it.
it though. Bang for your buck.
Bang for your buck.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh,
if
I
you
think
named
I'll
them
probably
yet.
name.
Oh, do you have
Yeah.
the trail names nailed down yet?
I have a list of like 100. I should read some of them off. You know, I will read some of them off. But the first trail is going to be called Doc Hudson because, you know, he's the greatest of all time. He
There you
taught
go.
Lightning McQueen everything he knew, 3 piston cups.
There
you
we
know,
go.
Whatever. But the second trail probably D18. I like playing guitar and I like bluegrass music, and so Martin D18 is the one all those famous bluegrass players go for.
Yeah.
So
It is.
yeah.
So you basically, these are your trails.
Yeah, hey, you know they are. They are. I try to
there's
keep
nothing
it
wrong with that.
interesting,
I don't
you
think.
know?
I don't think.
Yeah.
You know?
No, hey.
Dude, we're gonna see.
And oddly enough, we have trail names too.
Yeah.
If we ever make trails,
Yeah.
we do. We have a
Oh,
whole
do you?
plan.
There might be something that like
Are they podcast readable?
no. Well, some of them.
They're themed for
They're
sure.
themed,
They're
yeah.
themed, but nobody's
we
ever
just
done
can't
it.
tell anybody about 'em.
Dude, I really want to name a trail Charles Edward Cheese someday.
Oh,
That'd be a sick name.
That's good stuff, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
that's we come up with this stuff during our climb talks.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We always have ideas. That's where our best ideas come from.
That's true.
Dude, I always find out, like, the weirdest conversations come at the last hour of the workday when you're building trail. Like,
Oh, 100%.
dude, we call that the last hour.
Yeah.
It's just like all
Yeah.
the weirdest conversation. You're tired. You know?
You're tired and you
brain
like
doesn't
laugh
work.
at stuff that you shouldn't be laughing at.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
a little bit of delirium in there, and
You know,
everybody's,
This podcast has a little bit of that too. We have a
Yeah.
little taste of that.
Yeah. Hey, that's good. That's good.
yeah.
Well, yeah. Any projects? Any projects past Mulberry, or Mulberry is the focus right now?
Yeah, Mulberry's it right now for the rest of the winter. Yeah, that's it right now. I mean, I've enjoyed my time at Gravity Logic. I plan to go work out there in the summer. So, yeah, I mean, that's my plan. I'm pretty chill about it. You know,
Cool.
I would like to work at Mulberry for the rest of the year. It's just we're in the beginning phases, you know. So,
Yeah.
So we're working towards it with faith that it's gonna work out.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So do you have some projects with Gravity Logic in the future? They're like or are you just on call with them, or?
It's kind of like it's like month before they start during the summers. They're a seasonal seasonal thing. So they work out west, like Utah,
Yep.
Colorado, whatever.
Yep. Well, they build iconic stuff, so.
Yeah, they build good stuff. Yeah.
So it's good to be working with a crew like that, and then bringing that skill and that build, you know, ethic back to here.
Dude, man, I learned so much working with them. It was insane. Just like, and the skill of the operators there is another level. Like, I've had to move up into like another level of building to work with those guys. It was really good, you know. Just like
cool.
they bucket finish everything. It's not really expected that the rakes touch anything. It's just shaped straight from the machine. So I kind of enjoy that because you get to spend some more time like making stuff like taking your time and making it really good, you know?
Right.
Yeah. So
Well, I mean, there's that clear, definite, like defined difference between hand cut and machine cut things.
oh yeah.
And I think I would imagine that having an understanding of both probably makes like the best trail builder.
Oh yeah, like there's definitely a difference, I'd say, between like say like trail riding and mountain bike riding, and there's also a difference between say like building a downhill track or a downhill trail.
That's a fair point there.
Like a track is going to have more line choice,
Mhm.
more rawness to it, really. And
Right.
then like a trail, the goal for a trail is to have as little braking as possible, the trail builder really thinks for the rider. So say if you like you no braking
mind blown.
and you have to like build the turns and the jumps at the right angles and everything,
Right.
so it's like as mindless as possible, and that's harder to do. I think like a green trail for me is the hardest trail to build, just because
You have to do all of the thinking for the rider.
well yeah, and it's like it's hard
crazy.
too, because like nature, you know, is all chaos.
Yeah.
And so a green trail, you're taking as much chaos as you can out and making it smooth. You know, that's much more difficult to do than just raking it off and leaving it natural, you know.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Which there is like a skill set for sure to just raking it off and where to put a catch turn and such like that, but it's a completely different, it's almost a different sport, really. To like,
Honestly, dude, you kind of blew my mind a little bit thinking about the difference between a track and a trail.
Yeah,
like,
me too. I'm like, oh
shit.
Yeah. I didn't know that.
Yeah, like it, because I mean, like, because then it, like, I guess you would say like a track
You think racetrack, like, oh,
takes
it's gotta
you
be
there.
all perfect, you know,
or a track takes you there.
Yeah,
yeah.
And
it's kind of
or no, wait. A trail takes you there, but a track you have to. Dude,
Yeah,
my
like
brain.
I'd say like a
I
trail.
got
it's
broke.
the opposite.
Yeah, it's the opposite of what I
Yeah,
just said.
I was
Yeah.
thinking a track would just be all perfectly designed so you can't screw it up. But
Well,
it's actually not a track.
It's not a
track-
trail would be the in
And
at
the
least in the
track-
mountain bike
Yeah.
sense.
I mean, yeah, like a track, it's almost like you have to design in not like a janky corner, but a difficult corner that
Challenging.
you have to break, you have to choose your line, that's so that way it's like
The fastest person gets through that.
the one with the most skill will win.
Right.
You know?
Mhm.
That's the
Mhm.
goal. It shouldn't just be, in my opinion, at an enduro, it shouldn't be the guy with the best fitness shouldn't win. I don't think that's true. That's not how BMEs are.
It's like it's skill level. It's
Yeah.
strictly skill
but
level.
it's also, you know, it's a lot of
Okay.
fitness too, but
Mhm.
it's, I mean, I'd say it's like 70% downhill skill,
Okay.
really, at these
Mhm.
big races.
Well, because I mean, like, you know, I think this goes to like I don't watch fighting like UFC, but I've seen like people that are like in this like lighter weight class and just like wreck somebody with technique.
Yeah,
you know?
and there you
Oh,
can
yeah.
see like maybe a more out of shape or less cardio tuned guy be super technical, and then you got this physically fit guy that can go for days, but he
Mhm.
can't fight worth a shit.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
he gets whooped
Same
pretty
deal,
quick.
huh? Yeah, man, it's super interesting.
Yeah.
Mhm.
and
That makes sense totally.
and I think having a place, you know, having more places that showcase this kind of riding, I think is the only way that we're gonna get, you know, this kind of diversified stuff. And, you know, like you know, again, on record for saying like I get bored with riding the same kind of trails that we ride, and it would be nice to, even though I like jumping, you know, like jumping's like my preferred ride, you know, type. I do want to hit like some downhill stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that sounds like intriguing. You know, I think more people need to incorporate
I
that.
love it, man.
into
I
their,
love lone
into their
wolf,
stuff.
especially because it's so easy to go to slaughter pen. It's just so easy, but I don't know. It's fun. It's easy, but I like something like lone wolf because that's the stuff that I miss. That I learned how to mountain bike on, and now I'm like kind of lost it, and so now I'm like forcing myself to do like the lone wolf stuff because I do, you know, there's like that first part, you're like, and you got to go zing zing like real quick,
Mhm.
and it's like, man, I'll do.
No, dude,
I'll do it like 5 or 6 times because I do just want to whip through that whole thing. It's fun.
What I'm hearing is that you would love some downhill.
Yeah, I would love to do it. That there isn't any around here, but so
That's the thing. It's like
Uh-huh.
you go to this
and there's probably
you go
not
to this
going
one
to
trail.
be.
Yeah,
There's probably not going to be. So it is like
because
a big
because
deal.
that's the thing is that it's not really like tourist friendly.
It's not. Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, it's not.
It's just
Yeah,
not.
It's not, and it's something I think every trail system should have, just as like variety
Mhm.
standpoint.
Yep.
Because you need that blue trail, you really do.
Mhm.
Those are most popular. When I was at Deer Valley this summer, I was told their blue jump trail there has more traffic than Whistler A-Line, surprisingly enough.
Jeez.
So yeah, the blue flow trails are super popular. And
Well, because I mean, I was talking to somebody about this recently, about the bell curve of skill. Me and you were talking about this in our chat, was that, you know, it's like 20% to 60% is usually where you'd find most riders, or maybe even 30% to 60%.
Yeah.
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 And you have to cater trails to that demographic.
Yeah, like see, the thing that breaks that, though, Windrock breaks that.
Okay.
So Windrock, their trails are the steepest legal trails in the country. They're way steeper than anything we're going to be able to build out at Mulberry, just because of terrain restraints. If we pointed it straight down, it still wouldn't be as steep as Windrock.
Wow.
But Windrock has so many people come to their park nonetheless, just because they have that that's the place to go for steep stuff, and like they have that culture.
I would say that's gravitas. That is what that's the definition of gravitas.
Is it?
Yeah. They have that gravity. You know, like they're able to pull in people off the reputation.
Yeah.
Like that would be the gravitas.
For
you
sure.
know.
Yeah, 100%. And you know, they have an efficient shuttle system too, and that's super important. So, yeah, like, and Mulberry too, they rent UTVs and do all that same thing as Windrock does. So that's kind of the model, you know.
What do you mean rent UTVs?
Oh, so they, are you talking about Mulberry or?
Well, I
or
mean,
both, or just
I guess.
Yeah.
Like, are they renting UTVs to ride or for shuttle? I guess that's where I was confused.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So like Mulberry, they around that area is the, it's like Buffalo. It's the Buffalo Trail or something.
Yeah, and which is like a popular like off-roading kind of place.
So there's like hundreds of miles of off-road UTV trails out there.
Yeah.
And so they rent Polaris out.
Is this tied with Mulberry Mountain Campground?
Yep. Yeah, it's tied in. So
didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't bring that up.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they rent those out, and
Okay.
they have some sick, super gnarly UTV trails out there.
Yeah, so it's like you could literally go camp out there, ride mountain bike, UTV off-road, camp. Maybe there might be music, canoe.
Out there too.
There might be music playing that weekend or
Yeah.
something.
Dude,
you know?
it's a cool spot. Like anyone that's in the area, it's on the pig trail, you know. So, anyone who's driven through that area it's
amazing.
So beautiful out there.
It's amazing.
Like there's actual mountains. You know?
Yeah, it's like we're in the mountains.
Yeah. Dude, like this place, man. I was like, dude, I'm in the hills.
Yeah. I may or may not have a trail around here somewhere.
Oh yeah, live.
I'm trying.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, very good to hear. Very good stuff to hear.
Yeah, man. It's fun, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's something like yeah, I think there's a community for it and there's a demand for it now.
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe a few years ago there wasn't as much of a demand when a lot of the Bentonville trails were new. You know, it's new, and stuff is getting built, and I think people want some variety for sure.
No, I think it's time.
Yeah.
I definitely think it's time.
I'm stoked for it, man.
Yeah. Well, yeah, man. I think we covered a bunch of stuff. Is there any other stuff that you had that about Mulberry that we need to know about?
You know, nothing really about Mulberry.
Yeah.
But I do want to talk about kind of like I've seen like in the mountain bike community. I don't know if this is universal like around, but I've seen like recently some people have like taken their own lives. And so I think anyone who struggles with that, like I was there at one point,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, God was a big part of my life back then, or still is. But you know, I called out to God. I'm a Christian, and I just hate seeing people. I hate seeing that message, like he took his own life.
Yeah.
know? And that's a big part of my life. You know, I called on God to help me, and he really did help me. And anyone who's in that situation, like, reach out or reach out to God, because man, like we all have a deathbed to contend with, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And as kind of like what would you say, it's not dark, but it's true, you know. It's true. And when you're on that deathbed, it's like, what really matters in light of eternity. So I would just say, like, I asked Jesus to save me, and he did. And if you're in that situation, I would ask you to do the same. And because I don't know, there's a lot in I feel like there's a lot in life that, like, we kind of mask what's really important, you know. Mm-hmm. And so when you get deep down to it, it's like, what's really important. And so that's just the message I want to spread. And like, really, Jesus taught me what love and what forgiveness is, and it's him on the cross really dying for me, and that's what I believe. And so anyone who's out there listening, that's what I want to spread. I'd say consider it and look to him.
No, I appreciate that. I mean, I can actually say that I've seen a couple of you know, we brought up you riding solo, yeah. and I can a man of faith can spot another. It's called game, recognize game. And there's a couple of times where I've seen you, like, taking pictures of yourself in these, like, high mountain positions, and I can see it in you. Like that you can, like, you can see him in you, you know.
Oh man.
And where you found it, that. You know.
Yeah, man. Yeah, something about the mountains, you know.
It is.
It really is. There's something about the mountains. Yeah.
I doubt it has something to do with elevation, because I don't think that's it.
Yeah.
But it's like, it is something about being on high. Yeah. And seeing the glory of, like, what you're witnessing out on a ride, because everybody that's ridden has had that moment.
Yeah, just being alone.
Mm-hmm. And then in that moment, you're like, this is, like, one of the most amazing experiences I've ever had, and I'm by myself.
Dude, yeah, 100%. Yep. It's like we look at that and we find that beautiful, you know. Everyone would say, like, if you're at the top of a mountain, if you took a poll, 100% of people would be like, come on, I find that beautiful.
Come on.
Mm-hmm. You know?
Yeah,
so
dude, come on.
And that's a good question to ask, is like, why is that? Why do we
Why
find
is that?
beautiful?
Yeah.
You know, so
a lot of it, I think, I feel like has to, like, you know, you're looking upon creation, you know. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I mean, and even if it's like the stuff that we create, because it's like, even like this podcast, like, I didn't, you know, these are just hands that are being motivated and moved, you know.
Yeah.
And like, that's what happens on a ride. And you think about, like, I feel like a lot of people go through that kind of, like, that experience that they don't know how to describe it. They don't put it on paper. You might take like a selfie or something and just, like, you know, document that time. But there's so much more that's going through your head when that stuff's happening.
Yeah, man. It's so true. And yeah, and sometimes it's like being alone with your own thoughts is pretty rough, you know. But yeah, there's definitely something about, like, getting on a bike and getting up there. For sure.
And that's something, I mean, you know, we're talking about, like, you know, mental struggles. Like, you need those times. Like, you need those times of, like, reflection, you know.
100%.
And how else are you gonna, like, find him in you?
Yeah. And man, I think there's a big misconception about Christianity, like good people go to heaven, and that's not what it talks about. It's all people who don't deserve, that have said like I'm not good enough, I need help. That's what I've read, you know. But yeah, man, he saved me, and it was miraculous. What was hopelessness is joy now. And you know, mountain biking is all fun and games. You know, it's all fun and games, but man, yeah, it's something beautiful to me.
Yeah, and you're out there building trails and giving back to the whole mountain bike community of people to ride and stuff. I mean, there's always a purpose for everybody, I think, when, you know, and when people are just like bummed out or thinking about, you know, I'm worthless and stuff, and it's like, no, there's stuff out there. You just gotta get your mind straight.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, 100%.
I mean, and then, you know, kind of pulling that around, like, you know, having that place to go to do that, you know, like there's we talked so much about like free riders and people just like cutting their own trail and just doing their own thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you talked about to the common mountain biker, they're like, that's not where they found mountain biking. They found it on a trail that somebody else built,
Yeah,
you know,
for sure.
and built for them to experience mountain biking, you know.
That may provide something for somebody else to enjoy, and maybe they find something that, hey, I'm so glad I found these trails, whoever built them, because it saved my life. Like, I thought I was worthless, and now it's like I found something that I love to do and that drives me, and it's because you guys built that.
Somebody else,
you know?
Built the trail.
Oh, dude, and
that's a trip to think about.
Dude, it really is. And that just the community that grows around like mountain biking, like we were talking about. You sessioned at that step up, yeah, and it was like 15 people just got together and had a good time, you know. And that's everyone's different in that group, but they're all having a good time together just because of mountain bikes, you know.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
You can't beat that, man.
Yeah.
You just can't. That's always been the best feeling ever, is just to, you know, look back and go, hey man, I just got this idea to do a word of mouth mountain bike ride. I'm just gonna hit up all our like bangers and just say, hey, invite whoever. And I didn't think anybody was, you know, I just thought it was gonna be just our typical 4 or 5 guys that show up, and all these people were showing up. And man, it's fun to just go look at everybody's face. Everybody's you know, everybody's kind of over here talking, there's some dudes over here talking, and then like maybe the next run, it's like it's not those same guys. A couple are over here with these guys, you know, and it's like, okay, everybody's mingling around and talking, and they're all this and that, and I'm like, this is cool.
Which is Gnar, because that's fellowship.
Oh,
like
yeah,
that's straight up fellowship. That's like the definition of it.
Dude,
like,
we need
so
that.
much.
We totally need that. You know?
Yeah.
Can't just be alone all the time. You need fellowship.
Grant,
some way.
Can't just be alone all the time.
Oh, dude, trust me. I've gotten some cabin fever while I've been out there, and let me tell you what, it's bad to be with your own thoughts. You gotta focus on someone else.
You do need to be introspective at times.
Yeah. Yeah, man, it's all good.
That's great, dude. Well, yeah, man. Great having you, dude. This is it's perfect,
sure.
Dude, yeah,
perfect.
it's been awesome being here.
Yeah, dude.
Sick. Should we wrap it up?
Dude, wrap it up.
Give it a wrap.
Give it a wrap.
Do you like confetti?
No, we don't have no confetti.
Oh,
we're not that kind of show. We're not that cool. But yeah, everybody, thanks for watching. If you want to see more about Mulberry and the activity behind it, they should go to...
you can reach out to NWA Downhill Revolution on Instagram.
Okay.
And also, I want to plug my company. My company's Gradient Trails LLC, and they're also on Instagram or gradienttrailsllc.com. So you can reach out there.
Yeah.
Check them out. Follow them. They're doing good stuff.
Yep. Building raw trails.
Raw
Sick
dog
trails.
Sick
yeah.
raw
Sick
trails. All
That's
right,
all you
guys.
need to know. Sick trails.
Sick trails.
All right.
Yep. Thanks everybody for coming. See you next time.
See ya.
Oh man. Dang, I can hear everything now. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's a whole different vibe.